So we are back with more movie reviews. I'll try to get as many of these reviews out as I can for you. I will be watching all four of the Matrix movies throughout the entire month of January, and I will be dropping every single one of them. Also, I have a list of movies that I want to talk about, like a top 5, top 10, so much more in this entire month of January. So we're back, and the movie we will be talking about today is The Matrix. The first Matrix movie from 1999. This is one of those movies that I remember when it first came out. I remember all the kids in my school talking about this movie. I remember every single thing that people were saying about this entire fucking movie. This movie was one of those movies that everybody was talking about, from friends to family to the whole world. People actually were going insane because they thought that this movie was real. They honestly thought they was living, or we was living, in the Matrix. The Matrix is ahead of its time. It's one of those timeless movies that you will always go back to rewatch. At least the first one. I only remember liking the first movie, not the other one too much. But honestly, without any further ado, let's dive into the first pro. The movie tells a story about Keanu Reeves, who played Neo in The Matrix. He finds himself going head to head and literally finds himself in the Matrix. He finds himself in the Matrix. It's full of all these crazy things that's going on, and he is chosen as to be the one. He is the one to save the Matrix. He is the one to save humanity. And he must fight and learn some crazy, insane combat skills to become the very best, the Matrix God. And honestly, this movie has a lot going on with it. My first pro that I want to start off with is Lawrence Fishburne. I've always liked this guy's acting. I'm such a huge fan of his. I love his acting. I think he's one of the very best actors in the world. He's one of the best. He's not the greatest of all time, but he's one of the best. Then you have Carrie Ann Moss, who is also very fucking good. Them two right there, they are the strongest pros of this movie. Then you got Keanu Reeves in the movie as well. For me, his acting, like he is one of those actors that every time I see him in a movie, I always laugh. Because his acting is kind of bad, but he's still in my pro. He's not in my con or anything. It's just sometimes when I see him, because this guy is kind of a bad actor for me. But like I said, those three right here, they is literally the Matrix. They is what hold this movie afloat. They keep this movie glued together. Those three right there, this movie probably would have never worked. Another pro for me would be like the green filter. I love how they use like the green filter throughout this entire fucking movie. That is something that you probably gonna hear me say in the other movie as well, plus the other one. Hopefully the last one don't be so bad. But like I said, the green filter, like the way it looks, like the whole atmosphere with like the whole green and stuff. Oh my god, it's so fucking awesome. I love seeing that. Like, it gives the movie its own flavor. And back then, especially in 1999, not too many movies were doing that green filter like. And when this movie came out, it was literally original. Like, everything about the movie was just so original. Like, just that, yeah, like I said, that green filter, that shit is awesome. I love that. And another pro for me would be the idea of the Matrix aged very well now. Especially when this movie was made in 1999. When you now in 2022, it aged very well. There's a lot of things in this movie that could have looked like it would age terribly wrong nowadays, especially with like high definition and this fucking ultra 4K. It aged very well to be made in 1999. Especially watching it now in 2022. This movie aged very, very well. Honestly, I was watching this movie and I swear I was going to be like, oh my god, this movie is not going to look right. It's going to look so bad. But honestly, it does not look bad at all. This movie aged very, very well. And this is 2022. This movie was made in 1999. And another pro for me will be the fighting and the fucking shooting and all that, the slow motion and stuff. Honestly, when you look to watch a Matrix movie, you are looking for the slow motion and the combat skills. Honestly, this movie delivered everything that you want in a fucking slow motion combat movie. Honestly, the fighter make your jaw drop in your lap because it's off the chain. I remember when I first started as a kid, and honestly, I'm like, I was blown away. And even now, watching it now, just like I said earlier, that is a huge pro because it aged very, very well. Looking back at it now, you're like, wow, this is ahead of its time. I'm actually quite surprised this lasted that long. But honestly, the Matrix, like I said, the fighting on the slow motion, it's satisfying to see, like them going out there just jumping off the wall and kicking you all in the fucking face. It's amazing. We're moving on into the cons. Now, the cons is a bit of a all over the place, but I'm gonna try my best to explain everything. Major spoiler throughout this entire review. Right here is where you leave for your spoiler. Okay? Awesome. 3. Now, I hate when Neo does something so obvious and then they just so amazed by it. Like literally, there's so many scenes where he would do like one big hard punch and then everybody's just so amazed and then they say stuff like, he's the one. And that is honestly the problem here. They keep saying he's the one, he's the one, he's the one. Okay, I get it. He's the one. God damn, now how many times are you gonna keep saying he's the one, he's the one, he's the one? Okay, we as the viewers understand, like we see that he is badass. We see that. We see him out there stopping bullets with his hand, fucking bending all the way back, doing crazy stuff. We see him doing this amazing stuff. But the writers seem like we are dumb audience members, like we don't understand that he's badass. We can see it. Like, we don't need them to keep saying it. Like, oh my goodness. It drives me nuts. And then another con for me is when Neo gets shot, spoiler, when Neo gets shot by Agent Smith, they make it out as if like this is it. Like, this is gonna be, he finna die and it's over. And here is where the movie loses me. So we learned that Neo is the one, and we learned that he is unstoppable. Okay, he can stop bullets with his fucking hand. He can dodge bullets. He can do crazy spectacular moves. Building all the way up to the climax, just him alone, just building up to that, is pretty good. But here is where the movie loses me. So when Neo gets shot, Trinity walked over to him, and she started crying and all that kind of stuff here, and then she tell Neo that the article or something like that had told her that she was supposed to fall in love. And it was going to be him that she fall in love with. And so she kicked him and then he comes back to life. Okay, the reason it's in my con is because the whole entire movie had me invested to that point. When he got shot is where this movie literally bring this movie from a B+ movie to a C- movie for me. Is when she tell him that like he was the one for her and he was gonna be the one to stop all the crazy stuff in the Matrix, and she ended up catching him, and all of a sudden he comes back to life, and then he's the ultimate badass. Honestly, this movie lost me because now you taking it from being realistic into like some fantasy type stuff, like some whole fantasy love. I'm like, I refuse to buy that. I really do refuse to buy that. Overall, The Matrix came out in 1999. It's one of those movies that a lot of people remember, whether you was a teenager, you was an adult, a young adult, or coming up in age type person. It doesn't matter. The Matrix knows what it is today. And honestly, this is probably the only Matrix movie you will probably hear me say a lot of good things about. I do remember not liking the other one, liking all the other Matrix movies. I have not watched the last one yet, but I would. But like I said, this is the only one that I really do enjoy watching. If I'm ever going to go back to rewatch any of the Matrix movies, it'll always be the first one, this one right here. But like I said, this is just my own personal thought on this entire movie. If you enjoyed this review and you want to see more reviews like this, all you have to do is make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on that damn bell notification, also drop a like on this video. And you want to get in touch with me, all my social media link will be in the description down below. Make sure you keep a lookout because all the other Matrix movies will be coming your way. Plus some much more videos like some top 10, top 5. All that being said, just like I say in all my other videos, make sure you keep a beautiful smile on your face, stay positive, and I'll see you Hellraisers in the next video. Peace.